ain't gonna raise no more cotton. Here is why I said so. Well,
All right. Welcome back. Welcome back. Hope everyone is doing well. Right? It's good to see we got a small crowd in here already. Ashley in the house. Four-legged plague in the building. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Deanna Rivera in the building. Stars, kittens. All right. ABQ. Right? How y'all doing? All out. Rational cleanliness. Right? WS90. Anna B. What is going on here? First of all, my condolences to everybody in Kentucky who are victims of this crazy tornado cell. When was the last time we had a streak of deadly tornadoes in December? What in the world is going on here? There's a possibility many of the victims were followers of this channel. So I just want to send a big shout out to them. Please keep all of the victims in your thoughts and prayers if you are a religious person. All right. Now we're going to get a little creepy today, people. At least on this stream. It is going to get a little creepy. Okay, and I hope you all bear with me. And I want you to do your own research here. Now, I want to make some connections. You've all heard me talk about how demonic dog ownership is. I literally call dogs demons. And what I mean is, by nature, it is evil. By nature, it's evil. It's designed to be evil, to function in a negative way, to bring nothing but negativity. Literally, dogs bring nothing positive to human beings whatsoever. And everything that's referred to as positive is nothing but something that the human is doing, that the human being initiates. And they simply use the dog as the subject and then give the dog credit for having done something. For example, rubbing all over these nasty things and claiming that it helps to relieve stress. That is one of the most idiotic ideas or narratives that is out there. Right? It's hard to think of anything more ridiculous. And they're so sold on it that they are ushering dogs into many businesses based on that narrative, that they help relieve stress and anxiety, which is very minimal. If they do, it's very minimal, and it's offset by the anxiety created by the presence of the dog. Because in the back of our mind, look, we're natural. We're not predators. We are always aware that these are predators that could snap at any moment. Any stress relief, anxiety relief, trust me, is offset by knowing that you're dealing with a predator. So it's really a moot point. But I'm serious when I talk about this. When I refer to this as a demonic people, I want y'all to understand something. I'm a very, very proud African American, Black American. Very proud. I'm not talking about Egyptian history or history from Africa. I'm talking about my history here in the United States. Like I said before, all people need to be proud of their history, no matter how much negative things are in your history. For example, with black people, we have some negativity in our history. Many civil wars, tribes going at it, selling each other into slavery, right? But when I say I'm proud of my history, I'm not talking about that. But in order to be a mentally healthy, civilized person in this world, you need to be comfortable with yourself and love yourself. And you have to learn to love your history. And it has to be a genuine love and appreciation for your history. Now, here in the United States, African Americans or Black Americans have been the most influential in music throughout history. Black American music has traditionally outsold other people's native music in their own country, right? You could go to other countries and you would find that rap and R&B outsells their local artists. Highly, highly influential. I personally grew up on rap. Okay? The early 80s is my earliest recollection. In 1980, I was 3 years old. By the time I was 5 years old, I remember when I was 5 years old. I remember telling someone that I was 5 years old. And I remember the Fat Boys, Curtis Blow, the early days of rap. Okay? And early on, I knew something was wrong with it. Now, I appreciate the talent involved in rap music. But the bottom line is, rap was taken over by satanic cults. Satanism took over rap. And I can literally feel the evil in the music, in the lyrics, at a very young age. Very young age. I remember my earliest recollection of a bad feeling that I was getting from rap music was when I was listening to, I was in a, it's like a pool hall. And I was listening to a song by LL Cool J named I'm Bad. I'm Bad. And I was just looking around at all the mean mugging brothers in that place. And, you know, you could just feel the atmosphere was negative. A fight would break out at any moment. Gunshots at any, it was just negative. There was just a negative energy in the music. Now, I grew up to love and appreciate it. Rap and hip hop and R&B raised me. But I always felt that evil dynamic in hip hop. And it eventually drove me away from it. Around 2000, I completely stopped listening to rap and hip hop. The only thing I would listen to was very old rap and instrumentals, hip hop instrumentals. But here in the United States, it started with Negro spirituals. I mean, black people really, as far as music, the most influential. And I'm pointing this out because the people who control this world, who control this country, who control this government, are Satanists. And they made a conscious decision to take over rap because of how influential it is. And the result they wanted was to have a negative impact on not just black people, but all people, because they know that rap is heavily influential. A lot of white people love rap and hip hop. Many rap artists have talked about how sometimes when they go on tour, there's nothing but white people in the audience. They will go and tour Europe and will have sellout crowds in other countries. Rap, hip hop, R&B is extremely influential, people. So if you want to have a negative effect on the minds of the masses, you go through the most influential music. Y'all with me so far? All right, buckle up. This might get a little creepy. How many of you know what ragtime is? Ragtime is a very old type of music. And I want to give you an example of ragtime. I want to give you the audio only. Okay? See if I can pull it up here. Okay. Oh, sorry about that. 1 second here. Now you remember this music, the Old West. You know, the music that you hear in the cowboy movies called ragtime. Do your research. Black people invented this music genre. I'm just trying to highlight how influential black musicians have been throughout the history of America. They heavily influenced the music in general of America. So you had ragtime, you had jazz. Where is it? Jazz. You do your research, you find that jazz originated in the African American communities of New Orleans. Okay? You have blues. Blues really gave birth to country music. Originated in the 1860s by African Americans. Spirituals, of course, originated on the plantations. Rock and roll originated, look, and this is all from Wikipedia. It originated from Black American music, such as gospel, blues, jazz, boogie woogie. Another type completely originated and created by Black Americans. This attracted the attention of the people who rule this world. Now, I might sound like a right-wing guy in this stream. I know many of you know that I have some amount of respect for Donald Trump. But listen, the way that the right-wingers talk about how Satanists run this world, people, I am sold. I believe it. I 100% believe it. So just a heads up, I will be co-signing with many of the things that you've heard from the far right. But I am not a Republican or Democrat, just for the record. People, even heavy metal. Heavy metal. Okay? Developed in the 1960s, early 70s. In the United Kingdom and the United States, with its roots in blues rock. Heavy metal's quintessential guitar style, built around distortion heavy riffs and power chords, traces its roots to the early 1950s. Memphis blues guitarists such as Joe Hill Lewis, Willie Johnson, and particularly Pat Hare, who captured a grittier, nastier, more ferocious electric guitar sound on records such as James Cotton's Cotton Crop Blues. That is the song that I played at the beginning of this live stream. Right? For those who came in late, let me give you an example of that song. Oh my God, these ads are driving me crazy. Now they're having 2 ads back to back. You wait for 5 seconds for one ad and here comes another ad. They need to stop with that.
Ain't gonna raise no more cotton. I dig it
Okay,
high.
you're listening right there to the origin of heavy metal. So when I talk about how the Satanists who run this government, how they focused on recruiting rappers, it's not really a race thing. It was done because the black musicians have historically had the most influence in music. Okay? You've had famous people come out and talk about how rappers, musicians, entertainers in general are required to sell their soul to Satan. I know this might sound like a conspiracy, but there's a YouTube channel I want y'all to check out. His name is Jay Marvelous. He used to be in the industry and he exposes all of it on his channel. Almost has 100,000 subscribers. Go check out his material because I cannot explain everything here in this video. But he exposes how you're required to sell your soul to Satan, to sign your name in blood in a contract with the devil. Many of you are familiar with Melissa Ford, who went public and said this, literally. For those who are unaware of Melissa Ford's statement, I want to share it with you now. Okay, let me change my screen here. All right, check this out.
I had to ask some friends because I was hearing a lot about her, and so they told me, who she was and what she was doing. And I come to school and thought there's just some things that the public just shouldn't know. You know what I'm saying? Like things that happen between 2 people, a wife and a husband, girl. I just don't think that it's for mass consumption. I just have always felt that way, and I just think that the whole idea of celebrity and fame has become really convoluted and, kind of bastardized, like where fame used to be the byproduct of success, and now it's the ultimate goal. And if your ultimate goal is to be famous, then you're going to do a lot to get there, like sign your name in blood in a contract with the devil.
You hear that? She said, sign your name in a contract, sign your name in blood in a contract with the devil.
Like sign your name in blood in a contract with the devil.
Okay. Now she's a famous model. Okay. Let me go back to my PowerPoint. Many of you remember I talked about how DMX literally bathed in goat's blood. That is part of a Faustian bargain. Faustian bargain. How many people familiar with that? Huh? This stuff is real, people. And I believe Dog Nuttery is a part of this satanic, demonic culture that we find with artists and entertainers. Look at this. Is selling your soul a real thing? I hear all the rappers are selling their soul. Do your own research on this. Someone left the answer. This was from Quora. Said it most certainly is. Anyone trying to split hairs about you can't actually sell your soul, as it's not an actual thing, are trying to divert your attention from the truth. The soul exists. Now, can the devil actually take your soul? No. What he can do is, with your consent, lead you down a path that strays you far from God and your own actions and causes you to be separated and damned. Okay? This is crazy stuff. Check this out. A Faustian bargain. That's when you sign your name in blood in a contract with the devil. Again, check out Jay Marvelous' channel. They will either kill an animal and drink its blood or bathe in its blood, or they will have a person killed, someone close to them. Do your research. Many people are aware of this. People have been making Faustian bargains since time immemorial. Saint, who is this? Theophilus allegedly sold his soul to the devil, become a bishop. Sold his soul to become a bishop in the church. It first appeared in the 6th century Greek mythology. That story served as the inspiration to the 15th century Faustian legend attributed to George Faust, who sold his soul to the devil. There's mention of witches selling their souls in literature, 15th century literature. Musically, the most infamous tale is when legendary bluesman Robert Johnson sold his soul to the devil at the crossroads in exchange for ability to play guitar. Some of you remember the movie Crossroads, where the devil, they're making deals with the devil. And the devil had his own special guitar player who he blessed with talent. Right? It is known in the music industry that artists sign contracts with blood. Now, we just heard Melissa Ford say that. Sign contracts with blood, people. That is Satanism. That's witchcraft. These people are actually involved in this stuff. And they have a sick fetish for sacrificing children, allegedly. Okay? And that is how I'm tying this in. You have a sanctioned cult that sacrifices children like no other cult on this planet, like no other cult this planet has ever seen, in dog Nuttery. And I suspect that it is by design. The music industry of today is governed by satanic organizations. Y'all see that? The music industry of today is governed by satanic organizations, a secretive organization who control the entire entertainment industry, finance, economy, banks. They basically own everything around the world. Yes, yes, yes. You've heard Donald Trump talk about this. You've heard many Republicans talk about this. I'm talking about it. Artists get money and fame in exchange for their soul. Basically, they give themselves to the devil in exchange, and in exchange, they will get famous and rich. Signing contracts with their blood is a part of satanic rituals. They literally sold their soul to the devil. As crazy as it may sound, people, it's real. Why else do you think DMX bathed in real goat's blood? Why would you use real blood? He didn't want to do it at first. See, DMX didn't want to bathe in blood for Flesh of My Flesh album cover. What I'm saying to you is not conspiracy, people. You can look this up yourself. Anything I tell you, I want you to go behind me and look it up. I know some of my followers, they Keep Google handy as I speak. I'm speaking to you. Fact check everything I'm telling you. DMX bathed in real goat's blood. Who would do that? Not only that, do you see the devil horns on his head here? Y'all see that? Oh, it's deep. It's deeper than that. DMX not the only one. He's not the only one involved in this. Every major artist you can think of. That was part of the requirement for them to become so popular. They are required to sell their soul, to participate in these rituals, in Satanism. Y'all remember I've talked about a couple times, was it Lady Gaga or that other chick? Who was that? Who left a bathtub full of blood in a hotel? Wait a minute. Who was that? That was Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga is who I'm talking about. This woman left the hotel. She had to renew her contract with the devil. So she was up in a hotel bathing in blood. Here's an article right here. She was bathing in it. Lady Gaga's hotel blood bath. These people are not doing this for fun. In the early 90s, there was a rapper named Redman. He made a video called Funkorama. Jay Marvelous did a video about this. There's a car riding around. And on the license plate, you see the number 666. Jay Marvelous talks about a recent video just came out a couple days ago by somebody named Young Blue or something like that. All kind of Satanism going around in that video as well. Right? This is crazy stuff. 666 and inverted crosses. The evolution of Satan's influence on rap music. It's not just rap music. Satanism is also popular in heavy metal and many other music genres. This is crazy stuff, people. And this is what the people who run this world are into. So it's irresponsible, in my opinion, to ignore it. Irresponsible to ignore it. Now, I believe that dog nuttery is closely connected with Satanism as well. This is just my personal belief. And for me, it's difficult to deny. Okay, something happened to my live stream. Are we still live? What happened here? Okay, we're still good. We're still good. Yes. 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 Exactly. Exactly. This is crazy stuff. And notice how the participants in this cult are, and it's like unspoken, but you're required to never turn your back on dogs. Dogs are responsible for virtually all attacks on infants. All attacks on toddlers. That in itself sounds demonic. From this seat, they are pushing this lifestyle. Many of you are aware of the child sacrifices. You've heard Donald Trump and some right-wingers talk about how these Satanists that run the world, they are involved in child sex trafficking. Right? Epstein, his little island. Look into that. These people have this sick fetish of sacrificing children, these Satanists. And it's pretty sick and twisted. And with dog nuttery, there is a guaranteed, constant sacrifice of children, of babies, that nobody lifts a finger to try to prevent. I'm sorry, but that does not sit well with me. I mean, accept it or not, there are evil forces in this world. And I believe that myself, right, my ancestors, you, we are the vessels that's being used by the forces of good. Okay? We are in a spiritual warfare, good versus evil. Yeah, I'm dead serious. Dead serious. And the Creator uses certain people to combat the Satanism that runs this world. How else could this cult exist? This is why dog nuttery is so evil. Now, viewer discretion advised. Viewer discretion advised. Like I said before, if you're an adult and you're involved in something, just forget about the fact that dogs did this. If a bunch of adults are involved in something that quite often leaves them like this, mutilated, you would look at this group of people and say, wow, you people are crazy. You people are nuts. I would never participate in what you're doing. But hey, it's free choice. Knock yourself out. What else could we say to them? There's nothing we could say to them. But it's a whole different story when the majority of victims who end up like this lady are kids ages 13 and under. When you have the majority of the victims being kids and babies and nothing is being done or said, as a matter of fact, the pairing of kids and babies with dogs is actually being promoted, exalted, put on a pedestal at the same time when sacrifices are being made on a daily basis. You have to know that it's by design. This is by design. If it were not, dogs would not be, there would be some amount of regulation. Big dogs, large dogs would be illegal to own. At the very least, large dogs would be illegal to own. If there was a genuine effort or a genuine concern for public safety. The fact that these mutilations are actually encouraged tells me that this is by design. That the sacrifice of the lives of babies, infants, the youth is by design. It's something that is desired by those who control this earth. Just like you found a desire by the elite to demand that these artists, these musicians sell their soul to the devil. And what do these rappers, what were they doing after they started to sell their soul to the devil and participate in the Satanism? You heard it in their lyrics. Kill a nigga this, kill a nigga that, kill myself, smoke weed, drink all day, bitches, hoes, nothing but degeneracy. Music back in the day was nothing like this. If this was not some coincidental phenomenon that popped up out of nowhere, no, these artists literally sold their soul. They literally started to participate in satanic rituals. Now I'm going to share something with y'all. I'm going to share something with y'all right now. What did I do with that? Here it goes. Here it goes. I want to show y'all something. Just to have, because I'm making some outlandish claims, I understand. So give me a chance to back it up. Okay? Snoop Dogg, in his autobiography, check this out. Right? I got my hands full trying to back up these claims. I know this sounds crazy right now, but bear with me here. Snoop Dogg, in his autobiography, The Dog Father, says the devil came to him to make a deal that he would be rich and famous in exchange for his soul. Snoop Dogg said yes, and identifies that as the death of Calvin, and that identifies that as the death of Calvin Broadus, that's his real name, and the birth of Snoop Dogg. And he made a song. And in the song, he talks about it. Tupac, same thing. Tupac says he sold his soul to the devil. These artists have actually gone on record and confirmed the things that I'm telling you here. I sold my soul for a chance to kick it and bang. Now tell if I'm wrong, but saying, F the world, drinking till I earl, spending money till it's gone. It's the good life. Maybe niggas got it going on. Why should I change into a softie after living so loftily? It cost me my soul, out of control in the devil's world. Huh? Every artist, literally every artist you can think of, people. This is none other than DMX, who actually also talks about it. He said, literally, I sold my soul to the devil, and the price was cheap. Think about that. Why are all of these, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. There are innumerable numbers of artists who talk about selling their soul to the devil. Why do you think it's so popular for them to do that? It is because they are actually involved in Satanism. 100%. Okay? And listen, I want to show some photos here to really hammer this point home. Because, you know, these doctors and nurses, they should be on the front lines speaking out against dog ownership. Because they literally see the most gruesome injuries you can imagine. Let me see if I can do something here. I don't want to show anything for shock value. But when, as a doctor, you know, I'll have to go over this in the members area because I don't want to get in trouble for this. When, as a doctor or nurse or whatever, you're seeing this on basically a regular basis, daily basis, and you don't have a massive group of doctors speaking out against dog ownership, not even the least, something is going on. Something is definitely going on. These people, these dog nuts, the people, the actual dog nutters themselves, haven't you noticed that it seems like they are under some type of spell? It's almost like these people are possessed. Have y'all not noticed that? Brooklyn Curran seems like she's possessed to me. When she was interviewed, notice how the interviewer made it a point to ask her if she is now afraid of dogs. That was his way of saying, are you still part of the cult? Are you still loyal to the dog cult? And she participated accordingly. She responded accordingly. She said, no, I love dogs. She is expected to accept her injuries as part of the tradition. It's part of the ritual. It's a risk you take. And you are required to take that same risk with your young. When you have a baby, you have a newborn, the dog nut culture demands that you bring your newborn home and sacrifice your newborn to your dog. You are to introduce them and give the dog every opportunity it wants and needs to make a blood sacrifice. This is the most overt form of sacrifice. So like I said, literally, in order for dogs to exist in our society, you have to sacrifice children's safety to the point where it's up to the dog whether or not your children live or die. It's the dog's decision. And if the dog does kill your baby or child, it is always, almost always, virtually always ruled an accident. Accident. This does not sit well with me, man. I'm sorry. I know this might sound crazy and wacko, whatever. This is a crazy, wacko world. 100%. How many of y'all heard about, who is it? Nancy? Not Nancy. Who is Hillary Clinton? Any here heard about Hillary Clinton's involvement in satanic rituals? There's a lot of evidence that she made a blood sacrifice. They're fixated with children. They feel like children will help. They like to take their soul. They like to sacrifice children. This stuff is real. And I believe dog nuttery is a major component of the satanic culture in general. And what it provides is more blood from children than any other dynamic in society. Dog nuttery makes more sacrifices of children and babies. In regard to babies, it is only dogs that mutilate babies. It's only dogs that mutilate babies on a regular basis. Without dogs, they would have a major decrease, almost a complete decrease in elimination of child and baby sacrifices. And I believe that it is that they don't want to happen. They feel like this is a major part of their rituals. And it's people Now, I'm just letting y'all in on some of the things I think about that go through my mind, that I research as well, that I tend not to talk about on live streams, right? But, you know, I've been with y'all for a long time, and, you know, I trust you. Again, you don't have to believe me. You don't have to co-sign with me. You could believe that this is all theory. That's perfectly okay. All I ask is that you consider the possibility, because as it is right now, these people are involved in some sick, very sick activities in regard to dogs and children, dogs and babies. There is no justifiable reason for you to be able to simply Google images like this, knowing that the experts themselves tell you that this is extremely dangerous. When you see a plethora of images and videos like this, you have to scratch your head and ask what's going on. When you have veterinarians tell you, no matter how well trained, they will revert to their natural instincts. They tell you, never bring dogs around babies. Never leave kids or babies alone with dogs. And that's exactly what these nutters do. They're bragging, showcasing their satanic rituals in our face. And that's really what angers me, that upsets me. Some people disagree with my use of the word hate. I use the word hate proudly, because it's okay to hate as long as you hate the right thing. And I hate evil. I hate sickness. I hate this type of stuff. And I want it eradicated from this planet immediately. Hate is a powerful emotion. It is an extreme disgust for something. And I think it is righteous to have an extreme disgust for child sacrifice. This is the most embarrassing, shameful dynamic of our culture, in my opinion, because primarily of how overt it is. And you are looked at as a bad person when you speak out against it. That lets you know there's something wrong with your culture. If you have a problem with kids and babies being sacrificed, these people will attack you. That lets you know there's something wrong with your culture. You are not truly patriotic, in my opinion, if you don't have a problem with dogs existing in our society, especially the way that they currently do. Completely free inside of the homes where everyone is now trapped. And the dog can take you out whenever it pleases. So, just to be clear, the dog nutters who follow this channel, you may think I'm just exaggerating. I am not. I think that's a big reason, again, why these dog nutters sound like they're under a spell. They have a strong attachment, spiritual attachment with these child killers. Even when their child is killed, these people will go on air and defend the dog. They'll make it a point not to reveal that it was a bully breed. They'll make it a point not to speak out against dogs. They will not suggest to other parents to get dogs out of their home. They don't get in front of the camera and say, hey, look, these things are dangerous. Do not let them around your children. That goes against the cult. And to me, that is very, very revealing. That should be a pattern after dog attacks, that the parent goes in front of the camera and says, look, stay away from these things. Keep these things away from your kids. Keep them away from your babies. Do not let this happen to you. No, these people make a conscious decision to not say that. They make a conscious decision to conceal the breed of the dog. Even after the child's mutilated or killed, they are still protecting the dog. To me, that is pure evil. That's evil in its purest form. Right? And I feel like this is something that, at the very least, deserves some attention. Right? You need to consider this. And it's scary. These people involved in, and many of them are involved in this, and they're not really aware of it. Right? Some people who may have good intentions slid into participating in this culture. Hopefully they will see this video and snap out of it. Get rid of their worthless mutt immediately. Right? Yes. Yes. You know, and I understand a lot of people, they don't believe in God. I don't believe in some big man sitting in the sky. But no question, I believe in a creative force that is responsible for our existence. I believe in a higher power. Most definitely. Our existence has been orchestrated. You know, this universe seems by design to me. And I believe these people, these Satanists, they believe in a creator as well. And they consciously worship evil. So I allow myself to be a vessel to speak out against their works. And I'm not the first, won't be the last. Many of us will be killed as a result. But the thing is, we all have to die. And if you're going to die, go out doing good. You know, don't be participating in satanic rituals. You got to die anyway. Why do that during your lifespan? And it's sad. It's real sad that they take these impoverished people and these rappers and stuff. I believe these rappers, these entertainers, they are intended to be leaders of the people. By nature, they have a voice that captivates the masses. And these Satanists know it. And when these types of people pop up, the Satanists try to recruit them. Because they don't want these artists who are natural born leaders of the people. They don't want them to lead the people towards truth, justice, righteousness. No, they want to continue with this Satanism. So, yeah, do your own research. Please don't just listen to my video and then end it there. Please go behind me, do your own independent research, And if you find more information that I left out here, I hope you share it with all of us. Right? Man. And yeah, isn't it crazy? Man. Uh-huh. Yeah. And you notice how there's no attention given to what the Bible says about dogs. Like Christians themselves, you think that they would all be familiar about dogs being mentioned in the Bible. Like, whoa, the Bible talks about dogs. And then they would see, wait a minute. It speaks against dogs. It refers to dogs as evil creatures, unclean creatures. Oh, what is this? No, they turn a blind eye to it. And it's by design. They will not ever turn their backs on dogs. Like I said, people, look at how they treat dogs. They exalt dogs more than they exalt people. They honor and adore dogs more than they do their own kids. The youth in general. They will proudly, publicly say that they hate kids and love dogs, that dogs are better than kids. Who else would do that other than someone who's possessed? You have to be, because you're really going against your own self. You know, to be dead set against our youth, you're dead set against yourself. You know, we all start out as children. These people are out of their minds. And they need to snap out of it. You know, this worship of dogs, this is not normal. It's not normal. Nothing, literally nothing else in society is worshipped as much as dogs. People, and I believe that's by design. There is a demonic dynamic of dog nuttery, 100%. Right? There's no denying. Yeah. There's no denying. And I don't mind people using the word God. I don't mind people using the word God, right? Shout out to somebody. I'm sorry, I missed the super chat. My apologies. And shout out to that individual. There's no denying that there is a creator. There is a higher power. I don't know what it looks like or where it is. You know, I believe it's all around us. In everything that is alive. You know, I believe the creative force that created everything lives within all of it. And it lives in us. It lives in us. And it's our job to bring it out of ourselves during our lifetime. And to bring balance back to this earth. You hear a lot of people wonder what their life goal is. What's the meaning of life? As far as I'm aware, in this world, the meaning of life is to combat Satanism, this evil, dog nuttery, evil in general. And I just believe this dog nut culture is a huge component because it provides more blood. It provides more blood, and it's child blood. It's the blood of babies. And that's literally what these Satanists do. They will literally, with their own bare hands, people, do your research. They will literally, with their own bare hands, kill children. Abuse and kill. These are sick people, and they are in control of the world. You find that many of them are politicians, governors, so on and so forth. They're sitting in high places. That should always raise a red flag, right? Shout out to Deanna Rivera. Yeah, dogs in ancient cultures represent death. Yeah, and they represent death today, right? So be careful out there, people. I hope you all are enjoying your weekend. I know I am. Hope you all are staying safe, clean, right? Big shout out to all of you. There is a little information I want to go over a little later on, probably tomorrow morning, if not later on tonight, in the members area. You know, I don't want to get in trouble for some of this stuff, so look out for that. And please share. I never ask people to share videos. I'm going to ask you to share this video if you can, please. I feel like this message is one of those messages that everybody needs to hear. You know, it's more than just a random dislike for dogs. I believe this dog nut culture, it represents evil. Evil in its purest form. So until next time, and it will be very soon, as we continue with this crusade against these worthless, evil, demonic mutants and their enabling possessed owners.